For the past 2.5 years, the administration has focused on an outdated 20th century energy policy to meet the needs of the 21st century. From issuing misguided executive orders promoting dirty fossil fuels, increasing oil and gas extraction, and fracking on public lands, and proposing draconian cuts to agencies like the EPA. The administration has put corporate interests above the health and safety of our communities. One of the largest cuts to the EPA budget is to the Oil Spill Prevention, Preparedness, and Response Program. How can we expect to maintain proper oversight and guard against future oil spills like my district has seen time and time again when this program is facing significant cuts?
Well, again, our job at the agency is to spend the money that Congress appropriates. And I do know the Spill Prevention Program is a robust program that, in fact, I just having conversations the other day about enforcement associated with spill prevention issues. So it's alive and well at the agency, and it's a robust program, and the teams are doing a nice job implementing it.
But with all the cuts that have occurred, do you still have the same span of control and oversight?
With all the cuts, so what actually my program has been plussed up. So in the last several years, the Office of Water has gotten more funding. And more responsibility. We had dropped 32 new programs on the Office of Water. So in my personal experience, we have gone up in budget, not down.
Also in the Spill and Preparedness Program?
I can't speak to the budget on the Spill and Preparedness Program. A lot of that is run out of a different office.
Because that's the one I was referring to. Right. With the cutbacks by the EPA, does this mean that compliance with environmental safety rules are less of a priority in this administration?
No, they're not. Susan Bodine does a fabulous job with the enforcement team. I'm thrilled, from a water perspective, she's focused on cutting significant non-compliance and NPDES permitting as one of her core objectives. And another major priority for the agency is to actually cut back the amount of small and medium communities that are in non-compliance with the Safe Drinking Water Act. And so the enforcement program, from my perspective, is focusing on really core areas that I care about in the Office of Water.
In California, there was a proposal to allow for fracking on over 1 million acres of public land by the Department of the Interior. At the same time, EPA is considering comments on promoting greater reuse of fracking wastewater without clearly responding about the potential risks this poses to our environment and public health. Does the EPA support requiring full disclosure of any chemical additives to fracking wastewater before that wastewater can be proposed for reuse as a source of irrigation, water on food, or potable reuse?
So in the Water Reuse Action Plan that we just proposed for public comment last week, produced water is a very significant new source of water. And we have a very long section in there to describe called fit for purpose. So as we study produced water as a potential viable new water source, we are also taking a look at whether or not it's fit for purpose. So what is it intended to be used for? Whether or not it's irrigation, surface water augmentation, groundwater recharge, manufacturing, light manufacturing reuse. The aspect of reuse has to be associated with fit for purpose. And so that is a very significant component of our water reuse action strategy.
How are you going to address the exemption that exists for fracking operations in the Safe Drinking Water Act that does not require disclosure of chemical additives?
That I actually haven't, that's not in my program, at least I think. I'll have to double check. So I don't have an answer for you, but I can answer a question for the record.
Thank you very much. Madam Chair, I yield back.